Hi everyone, my name is Eric and today I will be reviewing the MJX. This is a little FPV quadcopter. It has a tiny little camera down here that transmits through Wi-Fi. So your phone can actually jump on the Wi-Fi of the camera and you can fly FPV. I'll go over how to set up the FPV app on your phone, the functions of the app, and I'll show you a bunch of flight footage showing you my controls while flying and an unboxing at the very end and just kind of an overview of the quadcopter. So if you guys do like this one, I put a link in the description down below. And if you guys do have any questions, please just leave it in the comments. And here's a timeline just in case you guys want to skip ahead. So I also reviewed another quadcopter kind of similar to this one, the Syma X5SW. And I included my flight review to that one down below. And I'll go over some of the pros and cons versus the two quadcopters. Now, as far as the size goes, they're both very similar in size. The one thing I do like more about the Syma is it is up higher than this one. And let me show you the weight on this one. Okay, so 3.3 ounces, and that's actually without the battery. Let's go ahead and put the battery on there. So 3.9, and if you do have the blade guards on, 4.2 ounces. So you're under half a pound, so you do not have to register this with the FAA. Same thing with the Syma. They're both very similar in weight. This quad does come with really good batteries. It comes with 750 milliamp hour LiPo batteries, which they advertise at around 8 to 9 minutes. And I was getting about 7 minutes if you fly it really aggressively. And then the charge time on these is about an hour and a half. It does come with a little USB charger. And what I bought, these were only about 20 bucks. I put a link in the description down below where you guys can pick these up. And it also came with this cool charger where you can actually plug in 4 at a time. So if you're going to take this out to the park, you'll have a ton of flight time. Distance was really good. It's advertised at about 100 meters, and I would say it's pretty close to that. Line of sight, I was taking this thing out to about 80 meters, no problem, no cutouts in reception. The 6-axis gyro on this thing is outstanding. Even with really aggressive controls, flying this thing at full speed and then cutting it in a different direction, the gyro wasn't confused at all. Letting go of the controls, letting it fall, and then bringing it back up again, it handled it just fine, which is really nice. Some of these quadcopters, the gyros kind of get spazzy when you get too aggressive with them, but this thing could handle quite a bit. So overall, very durable quadcopter thanks to its lightweight and its very rugged frame. But the one thing that was not durable about this, I wish they would have done a better job, is the landing gear. You'll see in the flight video that this thing actually comes off. They're not screwed in, they're just, you just kind of put them in. I'll take one off and I'll show you. But this piece right here broke off, which is fine because if you just have some super glue, you could easily glue this piece right back in. And then these, you can see these two little bars right here. Those just stick into the body of the quad right here. Whereas if you look at the landing gear on the Syma X5SW, they are, each one is screwed in and they're a lot taller. So they're going to give you better clearance and they're much stronger. The LED lighting system underneath is really good. Very similar to the Syma X5, very bright LEDs that have this diffuser on the bottom. That really helps with orientation. Even during the daylight, these lights are pretty easy to see. And you can do 3D flips with this. I wouldn't recommend doing them inside just because the quadcopter is so big that it's going to need to come up quite a bit. And then when it flips around, it's going to lose some altitude. So if you're going to be doing your flips, just doing them outside. Okay, and to bind your quadcopter to your transmitter, just make sure you have it on a nice level surface. That'll help prevent from having to put in a lot of trim when you're flying. So go ahead and turn on your quad. Turn on your transmitter. You should see this blinking. Once it's blinking, you can bring the throttle all the way up, all the way down, and your light on your quad's solid. Just give it a little bit of up throttle, and now it's going to be solid. So bring it back down, and now it should be ready to go. That's how you bind your control. And now, as far as the controls go, you have your 3D flip button right here. So you hold that down. And then you can perform your flip pretty easily. Over here you have your high and your low settings. So if you want to go slow or fast, You can press down, you can hear 1 beep or 2 beeps. That's going to tell you what mode you're in. Okay, and right here you have a kind of a strange button, something new that I haven't really seen. This is a mode button that will basically switch the yaw from over here on the left, which I'm used to, and pretty much every quadcopter comes that way, and it puts the yaw over here on the right. I don't like flying it this way, it just confuses me, but if you do want to switch that, you can. And then over here, this is where you can turn on and off your lights. So lights on, lights off. And then also you can activate your headless mode. Basically, headless mode, and it also has a 1 key return, and I'll explain how that works. But headless mode, it basically ignores the front of the quadcopter, and it's just going to go in the direction of your controls. So let's say the front of the quadcopter is facing this way. If I press forward, it's actually going to go forward, even though it's really going sideways. So it's basically going to make it easier to fly for beginners. Once you learn how to fly the quadcopter, headless mode really is not that fun to fly in. And 1 key return, basically all that's going to do, it's not GPS. So if you lost sight of it, it may or may not bring it back to you, but what's going to happen is it's just going to do the same thing as if you just press back on the control. It's just going to go back somewhat towards you. You know, if it's way off in the distance over here, it might go off in another direction. You know, who knows? It's not perfect. It's not like the DJI Phantom where it's going to track locations via GPS. So now it does come with the blade guards. And also comes with the 4 spare blades. And another advantage of the MJX is the larger battery. The Syma, I believe, only has about a 500 milliamp hour battery, so you are going to get a couple extra minutes of flight time with this one. And you do get an adjustable camera angle, and I'll show you what that means. It's not very easy to adjust the angle of this one, but you can you know, either get your thumb in there or get like a little maybe like a flathead screwdriver and just point it up. So right now, if you look at mine, it's pretty much pointed straight forward. A lot of cameras on quadcopters, they actually point down. The problem with that is if they're pointed down and if you're going forward, now they're really pointed pretty much straight down. So it is kind of nice to adjust the camera angle. Well, you'll see with a lot of the FPV racer quadcopters, the cameras are actually pointed up a little bit. So when they're going forward, then that'll make them point straight. So it's just kind of a nice little feature to have to so you're not staring at the ground the whole time, making it impossible to fly when you're flying fast. Now, the pros of the Syma X5 are that it is a little bit cheaper. You know, prices fluctuate, but usually about, from what I've seen, about $20 cheaper. And the app is more reliable on the Syma. Now, I'm sure they can easily do upgrades to the app on the MJX. I'm sure it's going to get better. They're going to update it. But when I've been testing it out, it has cut out a couple times, and you'll see that on the video. It kind of goes in and out. Now that went in and out on my phone, but I also used a tablet, and the tablet app was actually more reliable than my cell phone. I'm not sure why, but it's just kind of compatibility issues between different browsers, probably different operating systems. And this should work, the app should work on iOS. I haven't tested it, but I have read that it works just fine. Another cool feature about this one is it does have a 3D function. So if you have a set of 3D goggles like these, and these range in price. I mean, these were $20. They're pretty cheap. You can also get like the Google Cardboard for really cheap. But basically, how these work, and I'll show you the phone inside of them, is you have your split screen right here, and the camera will actually split the screen, so you can kind of see like a 3D view of it. Okay, so the apps that you want to get, well, actually, it's just one app. I had to test out a couple different ones to actually get it working, and I'm sure they'll fix this. Hopefully, they fix it by the time you buy it. But you can go to the App Store and search for MJX C4006 or 4005. You can try them both, see which one works for you, but I'll show you how that works. So basically, go to the App Store, download the app, open it up, and now you're going to see this screen. And if you go to monitor right away, you're not going to see anything. And that's because you have to set up the Wi-Fi first. And a good way to think about it is think about the quadcopter as like your home router. It's going to transmit a Wi-Fi signal, and it's going to transmit an open Wi-Fi signal. So there's no password or anything. You just basically, you'll see it in your Wi-Fi list on your phone, and you just connect to it, just like you did at home to your router. So I went into the Wi-Fi settings on my phone, and right now I'm connected to my my home, which is Starkiller Base, and I can go ahead and connect to MJX X400W FPV. That is the Wi-Fi signal that it's putting out right now. So just go ahead and click on it, connect, and there's no password or anything. Give it a second. It's going to obtain the IP address, and then go back to your app. So go ahead and open it up. And now when you click monitor, you should see a live view. And if you notice, it is flipped. So if it is upside down, you can just hit the 180. And now you can see it. So pretty responsive, less than half a second delay. And if you notice on this one, there is no 3D function. There should be a 3D button up here, and it gets a little confusing, but I'll go ahead and go over that. If you guys do plan on checking out the 3D function, you can just skip forward to that time, because I kind of have to go through a couple of extra steps to get that working. But for now, what you can do is you can see, you can go in here, you can start recording. So now it's recording, and it does record all on the phone. There is no micro SD or any kind of recording device on the quadcopter. You can stop recording, take a picture, and that's pretty much it as far as the functions go on here. Okay, and as far as attaching the camera, it's pretty easy. This comes with a spring right here. It's spring loaded, so you just kind of push it up. Okay, thanks so much for watching. If you found the video helpful, I always appreciate those thumbs up, and make sure to subscribe to keep up to date with my future reviews. Thanks, guys.
We're going too fast.
It's stuck in my mud.
Okay.
Check out how much mud is on this thing.
I know.
It's covered in mud. Hit the wall and didn't crash. Leg go off. Whoops. There goes the There goes the landing gear. Pretty good range. And last, I'm going to show you the 3D function. So if you guys do want to get this working for 3D, here's how you do it. Okay, so to get the 3D function to work, and actually I cannot get this part of the screen to bump over because it really should be full screen. It's just one of the things I need to update the app. It was working earlier. I don't know why now it's not. I restarted my phone, but anyways, I'm going to just show you guys how that works. So 3D, when you hit it, it basically splits the screen. It does give you somewhat of a 3D effect, and it really kind of puts you in the driver's seat of the quadcopter. But then again, the problem is with this one, and also the Syma quadcopter, is it's such a narrow field of view that you cannot really see what's going on besides you. So if you are flying this, especially in a small area where you could possibly hit things to the side, it's going to make it really difficult to fly. And it's just very disorienting. But it is kind of a cool feature to have if you want to play around outside in a big park where you have tons of space. But the problem is when you have this mask on, you can't really have a view of your quadcopter because this just pretty much takes up all your vision. So what I really like to do, I like to fly it with just the app and then also look up at the quadcopter just to know where it's at the whole time. And to get the 3D app to work, there are a few more hoops you have to go through. This is what I did basically. So to get the 3D app to work, and hopefully by the time you guys see this video, it's fixed by now. But if you cannot get it to work by downloading the app in the App Store, this is what you got to do. And I'll go ahead and put instructions down in the description walking you through this. But you actually have to go to their site, the MJX, I forgot exactly what it is. I'll go ahead and put it also in the description. So go to the site, download the app from there, which is not the same app that you find in the App Store. You have to download it. And a lot of phones will, by default, will have a security setting in place where it will not allow you to install apps that are not verified by the App Store. But I went ahead and did it. I disabled my security setting, and then I installed the app on here. Basically, you download it. It goes into your download folder. It's an APK file. And then you install it on your phone. And it looks just like the other apps, except it has that 3D function to it. So a little more confusing to get to, but if you do want to check out that 3D function, for as of now, that's how you have to do it.